Goodness comes and evil goes.
Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth. Karibu, welcome. My name is Kwende, and today we're going to get into another important subject, and that subject is the Spring Equinox and the African Shrine. By the grace of the Creator Supreme, we have in the universe the powerful energy source known as the sun. And when the positioning of the earth in relation to the sun changes on an annual cycle, there are various times of year that is highlighted, that can be seen, that can be observed. And one of those times is the spring equinox, where the length of the daylight hours typically changes. Equinox is a compound word in etymological terms. In the root origin of the word, it comes from two Latin words, one meaning equal and the other one meaning night. So equal night, equal darkness, equal blackness. And as African people, that's really, in natural terms, what life is about, that balance, that equilibrium, that equality of self and self in centrality of the sacred universe. That's natural order of things. And wonderfully, the African shrine fits beautifully within that natural order. It is about that balance between the true African substance of self, that which is physical and that which is metaphysical, all creating a oneness of being, all creating a wholesomeness, and all in thrust of progressive transformation. Just as the natural cycles of the universe transform, so too does the African transform. But not just transform, because you can have change or transformation that progress, or indeed lack of progress that is being made. You can also have change or transformation that is regressive. But beautifully, as we can see with the power of the sun in relation to the earth, what we have is progressive transformation of elevation. And that is the connection that African people have from the African self with the African shrine. It's a balance or relationship that is progressive transformation, elevating the self, changing the self, transforming the self to become ever better, to become ever more powerful, to become ever more progressive, and all of those things. That's how the African shrine relates to the African self. That is how the African communes with the African shrine for the purposes of constant, continual, eternal elevation on the spiritual level, and as it would manifest itself on the physical plane. They're not detached. They're not separate. There's not spirituality over here and the physical realm over here, and never shall they meet. There is a oneness of being, a oneness of substance. And as the African cultivates him or herself in spiritual terms, so is that manifest in day-to-day life, in everyday life, no matter what the endeavor, no matter what the expression, what the outward expression is of life. So around the time then of the spring equinox, where transformation takes place in the sacred universe, it's a special time for punctuating the transformation of the African self, for progress, for elevation, and celebrating the African shrine, which enlivens and energizes that said transformation, is important to do during the time of that solar transition that the spring equinox represents. And of course, it's a time when there are functional holidays in place that the African can make use of to celebrate the African shrine, having time to commune with the African shrine, whether it's in the home, whether it's in wider community space, or even at national shrine level. So it's a very important time, it's a very special time, and one that can really empower African life on an annual cycle. Transformation, elevation, year on year. So with that, food for thought, and surely it is food for thought. Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth.
Divine Madabahuni of love. Shrine of self is gift from above. A sacred shrine energizes love.